You're watching the Sports Central Podcast.
Welcome, Jerry Hairston Jr. to the Sports Central Podcast. Good to see you.
Always great seeing you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I guess we should start off talking a little Dodgers baseball. That seems like the obvious line of questioning to begin with. So, looking for a three-peat.
Yeah, I think this team is more than capable of three-peating. I really thought, heading into the last postseason, the Dodgers did not win the division. They were a wild card team. They had a little bit of flaws. Now, they had excellent starting pitching. The bullpen really was kind of in bad shape heading into the postseason. Roki Sasaki, a rookie starter, comes out of nowhere and is now the closer for the Dodgers. Now, we didn't know going in how he was going to kind of take to that role. He took to it and dominated in the postseason, kind of gave us a breath of life for the relievers. Guys stepped up. The Dodgers really didn't play all that well, in my opinion. They would say, especially swinging the bat. I think they hit like 203 in the World Series. So looking back on it, as a baseball player, that was the time to get the Dodgers. I really thought the Phillies should have won that series. And then going in NLCS, Dodgers played pretty good baseball. The Brewers did not. They advance and go to the World Series. Toronto Blue Jays, I thought, were the better team as far as playing wise. The way they swung the bat the ball skills, they had really good pitching. So they had kind of the edge going in. Dodgers found a way to win. I think that championship medal really kind of helped them in game 6 and 7 to get over a tough environment. And they found a way to win a championship. And I thought, after that year, I thought they should have really got. But then you fast forward to this year, I think they're better equipped. Starting rotation, the bullpen arms, along with guys have added to this team. I think they're better equipped heading into the postseason this year. Now, they still have to remain healthy. We're going to get guys like Tyler Glasnow back. We're going to get guys like Blake Snell back, Kike Hernandez, guys that are a difference maker, and hopefully we get Will Smith back. So to answer your question, yes, they have a serious chance to three-peat.
My favorite thing about talking with you, Jerry, is I could just one question and you're going to go. You're going to go, just wind you up and you go. Being around the ballpark, being around this team, it seems like it's a special place, right?
It is.
Dodger Stadium, one would argue, is always a special place. But with the infusion of salary, talent, the ownership they're doing everything that they can to win. And that's from what I've had conversations with people. They give a lot of credit to the ownership that's like, we are winning at all costs.
I've been around, baseball my whole life since I can crawl. And I'm going to take a general thing as far as I was first a fan, then I became a player for a lot of years. When I first came up, it was the Yankees. The Yankees are spending so much money. Other teams are spending a lot of money too. But it was the boss, George Steinbrenner. Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Aren't you supposed to have the best team possible? I think every fan would want their owner to do that. The Dodgers are no different. Yes, the fans come out. It's not cheap to come to the ballpark. So what the Dodgers do is make sure if you're going to come out to the ballpark, you're going to go out and see a great product on the field. As a fan, as a consumer, that's what we want. So I think, yes, Dodgers kind of get that knock, but how is that a knock? Now, on the flip side, the Dodgers, with their foundation, when I say foundation, their minor leagues, it's really second to none. They draft extremely well, even though they never have the first, second, third, or fourth, or fifth pick. They're always picking last, 30th, 35th, 40th, and so on and so forth with every round. But what they do is they make sure they have great scouts. So when they do get guys in their system, they get the right guys. And then you have guys in the organization, coaches, guys that develop these guys throughout the minor leagues. So when they get to the big leagues, like a Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, Will Smith, Justin Roblesi, all those guys hit the ground running. That's something that's really not talked about. Yes, they have money, but they do a tremendous job drafting. Why aren't those teams that are drafting first, second, and third every single year? They should have a boatload of young superstars. Some teams have a couple. Dodgers make sure A to Z they have everything covered.
And the Dodgers also made the move to bring in Shohei Ohtani. We can both agree he is superhuman.
Yes, he's pretty good at baseball.
He's pretty good at baseball.
He's pretty good at that.
That being said, though, this season he's they're hitting pause on pitching indefinitely. Do you think that Shohei has peaked? Are we now looking at a little bit of a decline?
Oh, I don't think so. I think he is really starting to hit his stride as far as from the plate standpoint. And if you really look at it from the pitching side before that knee injury, it has nothing to do with his arm, it has nothing to do with his age. It was just a freak thing. And that happens. You can have a knee injury at 15, 18 years of age. He has not hit his peak. I think he's ascending, especially on both sides of the ball. You see him develop every year, especially in Dodger blue, as a leadoff hitter, getting on base at a great rate. He's cut down on his swing and miss. He's been great in the clutch as well. So on the hitting side, he keeps getting better and better. I think that's going to ascend. Now, as a pitching side, the biggest thing is health. You got to stay healthy. Whether it's the knee, making sure, I think they're going to take about a month or so to make sure that's okay. And then once he's back, he'll be fresh and he'll continue doing what he does on the mound. So I still think he's got a lot of more years left being on that mound. And then we'll see where he's at 3 or 4 or 5 years from now on the pitching side. Who knows? In the future, maybe he becomes a closer. We don't know. We don't know what the future holds. But offensively, being a designated hitter, he can be pretty dominant late in his 30s, maybe the way guys take care of themselves in their early 40s. And I will say this. Everybody says, well, you guys got Shohei Ohtani. You guys are supposed to win. Well, didn't the Angels have Shohei Ohtani for 6 years? Didn't they have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani together? Did they make any playoff appearances? You don't have to answer that question. There's a reason why. Yes, you have Shohei Ohtani, but you make sure you build your organization around Shohei Ohtani to kind of maximize his strengths and the players around him, their strengths as well.
You bring up that the New York Yankees were criticized for so many years for spending so much money on their payroll. You were there in New York in 2009, traded from Cincinnati, right, midway through, but part of that World Series run. I want to know, did you actually ever get a check from the New York Yankees, or were you still on the Cincinnati payroll? No,
that's a great question. So one of the reasons why I was traded, with the way my money is set up, because I did yearly, I could have had multi-year deals, but because I played everywhere, I wanted to maximize my money. So what my agent would do, he'd give me a 1-year deal. Here's the base salary, and then I have a lot of incentives. So I would have, that's how I really made my money, through incentives. So plate appearances, games played, sometimes different positions, games at different positions, whether it's a premium position like center field, shortstop, third base, I would get more incentives. So I started to hit all my incentives, and I was going to make more money with my bonuses than my 1-year, $2.5 million contract with the Reds. So the Reds didn't really want to pay that money. They weren't going to win that year anyway. So they asked the Yankees, hey, we want Jerry. He goes, well, you got to pick up all his bonuses. The Yankees says, absolutely. So they picked up all my incentives. They paid me. Not only that, they paid me my bonus at the parade. They gave me a check. So not only did I get that ticker tape parade, which was unbelievable in New York City, be around the guys. We got the key to the city, which was awesome. I get a check from one of the owners of the Yankees. And I said, what's this? He goes, well, you'll be happy. Don't open it right away, but don't lose it. So, of course, I opened it on the bus. I was like, wow. I mean, that was a pretty good bonus check. So I was happy with it.
Good for you. Thinking about like how you had incentive-laden contracts, did you learn about the financial side of things, having, your dad play in the big leagues?
Yeah, I mean, being a third-generation player, I got a chance to see my dad play, but I also knew that you can't play forever, So I knew that I would have to have a career or do something else afterwards. And when I was around 8, 9 years old, I fell in love with the White Sox. That was my team growing up. My dad played for the White Sox. I loved their broadcasters. And one of the broadcasters that I loved, I went up to him, I said, man, I love the way you call the game. I learned so much by just watching the game. And he goes, well, I played also. I was like, you played? Now, remember, I'm an 8-year-old kid. I didn't know you could play and then be a broadcaster. Long story short, my dad made me do a book report on him. The name is Don Drysdale. Oh, wow. So Don Drysdale, found out, was a legendary Brooklyn Dodger pitcher, and he became a broadcaster. I said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a baseball player and then become a broadcaster. Fast forward, very fortunate enough to be a Dodger broadcaster. So Don Drysdale gave me that vision.
From 8 years old?
8 years old. That's what I want to do. Yeah,
that is incredible.
Well, I knew I couldn't play forever. I was like,
Well, 16 years is nothing to scoff at. A 16-year MLB career is pretty darn good.
I fooled a lot of people.
Good job. You're still fooling them. I think that's great, though, Jerry, to have that vision at such an early age. And then also, you retired, I think your last season was 2013. Yep. And then December 2013, they made the announcement that you were joining the broadcast crew for Spectrum Sportsnet, covering the Dodgers pre and post game for the very next season. Did you map it out that way? Were you hoping that you'd make that transition quickly?
Well, I knew I was going to get into broadcasting right away. So my last season, I would do some stuff with the Dodgers. It didn't take away from me playing, but I wasn't really playing. I was the oldest guy on the team. I was a guy kind of like Miguel Rojas, but Miguel Rojas was a little bit better player than I was. But I knew that's what I wanted to do. Now, I didn't know the Dodgers were going to have their own network. So whether it's other networks I was going to be a part of, but I had job offers. And I didn't know if I was going to play another year. So I had 2 contract offers to play because I could have played in 2014. But the Dodgers said, hey, we have a chance, to do something special here. We want you to be a part of our broadcast team. And I said, if I pass on this, I think I'm going to regret it. So why play another year, be on the East Coast, be away from my kids who are growing? So I wanted to make sure I was around my kids more. I think this job, when they offered me the job, I said, I got to jump on it. So I was glad I did. Lon Rosen said, hey, we want you here. I said, okay. And it's been one of the best decisions I ever made. It's
been 13 years of broadcasting, almost as many as you had as a player, which is pretty phenomenal. And the fact that you're with one team for your broadcasting career is amazing as well. Is there anyone that, I know Don Drysdale was the first one to kind of plant the seed, but was there anyone that coached you up in terms of how to be a good broadcaster?
Harold Reynolds was one of the guys that was kind of, I would say, my mentor. Stan Verrett, who now lives in LA, we still play golf together. Those 2 guys really helped me out, while I was a player. So what I would do when I was a player, and this was Harold Reynolds' idea, and Stan Verrett, said make sure you get your reel, but make sure you get reps. You get reps on TV live because, as live TV is different. There's no, cut, I messed up. You got to roll with it. So what I would do, I'd go to either ESPN, MLB Network, and get my reps. Anytime I was playing the Yankees or the Mets, I would get my reps there.
Go in studio
and do a couple segments. And I would do that for the last 4 or 5 years of my career. So when I was done playing, I would hit the ground running in wherever I decided to end up.
Well, it's worked out well for you.
Been very fortunate.
Yeah, do you get a World Series ring as a broadcaster?
I do.
So,
well, listen, I tell Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman, hey, guys, go out there and be great. And guess what? They go be great. So I deserve a little bit of the...
You do. Well, see, one in your playing career. How many now as a broadcaster?
This is 3 and counting.
And counting.
So hopefully more.
Yeah. I love it. I
would love to get the Kobe, the 5. I want to get 5.
It makes sense. Yeah. Why not dream big? Go for 10. Fill up every...
I don't want to be greedy, but let's get 5 first and then we can move on.
You spent your career as a utility player, right? Some infield and then some outfield. I want to know, when you're out in the outfield, what are some of the craziest things you've heard from fans?
This is...
You're like, what are we allowed to say?
You know what? Listen, baseball fans are great. I know there's rivalries between fans, teams. Boston's pretty crazy. I remember being on the on-deck circle. I just got traded from the Baltimore Orioles to the Chicago Cubs. I was traded for Sammy Sosa. So Sammy went from Chicago to Baltimore, and I went from Baltimore to the Cubs. And everybody knew I grew up a White Sox fan. My dad was in the organization still. My grandfather was in the organization for decades. I'm on the on-deck circle, and I'm hearing fans, White Sox fans at Comiskey Park, yell at me, "You're a traitor. Your dad hates you." All sorts of stuff. And by the 3rd at-bat, I come up on deck circle, the 3rd at-bat, they're still giving it to me. I turn around, I was like, dude, I was traded over here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask to be here. I was traded over here. Nothing really I could do. Fans started laughing. So that was kind of crazy. I think that's the PG-13 version I can give you.
Right.
In the outfield in San Francisco, wow. I think the Giants fans, and they love their fans, they're great fans, they give it to you in the outfield, man. They say stuff that... I thought more New York fans, Boston fans, Philly fans would be a little hard. They're tough now. But the Giants fans, whoo, Lordy, they say some stuff that make sailors blush. I'll leave it at that.
Take Dodger Stadium out of the equation, okay? Because we know how we feel about that place. It's special. What was your favorite ballpark to play in?
That's a great question. I loved a lot of different ballparks. I loved Camden Yards. You know, I came over Baltimore. That was just a beautiful ballpark. Great place to play. I always loved the older ballparks, whether it's Wrigley Field, Yankee Stadium. Playing in that old Yankee Stadium, digging in that batter's box, you knew that Joe DiMaggio dug in that batter's box. Mickey Mantle. All the greats played at old Yankee Stadium. That was epic. And then, you know, coming up with Baltimore, I played against those late 90s Yankees teams with, you know, Bernie, Jeet, Posada, all those great teams.
So for you, it's more of a historical perspective.
Of course.
Not necessarily like, oh, this is a hitter's park.
Well, I mean, I loved hitters' parks as well.
Yeah.
But I love the history because what other sport has that? I mean, maybe the Masters, you know, when you're playing golf, you have the legends to play there. But what other stadiums had, you know, Babe Ruth playing it, right? Jackie Robinson, Ernie Banks, so many legends, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays. So I appreciated the history of the game.
Was that you segueing us into the golf portion of the conversation?
I was waiting for you to ask me some golf questions.
What is it with athletes retiring and just becoming obsessed with golf?
Well, because when you get a little older, you've done a lot of running throughout your career, you know, whether you're a football player, soccer, basketball, baseball, hockey. Hockey players are good golfers as well. You need a sport that you're competitive in, and you get a chance to hit something, but you don't have to run, which is awesome. You know, and you can't conquer golf. You can't conquer it. And I think athletes need something that occupy their time, do something semi-athletic that is not so much taxing on your body, but you can have that competitive nature. You know, so I think golf is the perfect sport, and you get a chance to be outside. You know, it's awesome.
Who is the best golfer that you've seen that's retired baseball player or retired athlete? I
don't want to say it, but I'll say it. Aaron Hicks.
Okay.
Aaron
we don't
Hicks,
want to give him that.
Well, Aaron Hicks is my boy, but he's the best retired athlete playing golf. I think he has a chance if he really focuses on. He's got young kids too, so I don't know if he's going to have that type of time. And he married Cheyenne Woods, which is cheating. Okay, Cheyenne was a professional golfer, so she's helped his short game, so that's made him really, really good. So I think Aaron Hicks is the best athlete that's playing golf.
Best course you've played and course you want to play?
Ooh. Oh, that's so tough. I played some good courses. I love Shadow Creek. Shadow Creek in Vegas is awesome. The Summit Club in Vegas is great too. Dexter Fowler's course. We play it every year together there. That's his course. Pelican Hill doesn't get enough love. I mean, it
underrated.
Is beautiful. It's beautiful. Silverleaf in Scottsdale is great. My course, Greyhawk in Scottsdale, is awesome as well. And I got a chance to play in Laredo, the TPC there in Laredo, Mexico, which was awesome. I know I'm rattling off.
Yeah.
Moacabo in Cancun is awesome as well. But I love free golf. So if there's a free golf tournament, you know, guys, hit me up.
If you could trade your 16 years playing Major League Baseball for a PGA Tour card, would you do it?
I wouldn't do it. I would. That's a great question. Are you being saying like right now, I played my 16 years, or you're telling me at 23 years old?
I'm saying either you give away the baseball career. It never happens, but you are on the PGA Tour.
No. Baseball is awesome, and I love golf.
You have to think about it for a second.
I did have to think about it. Golf is great, and it is a very difficult job. People don't realize what these golfers go through. I know a couple of professional golfers. These guys grind. In my opinion, still, hitting a baseball, let me rephrase this. Getting hits at the major league level, not just hitting the ball. Getting hits at the major league level is the hardest thing to do in sports because you got to deal with that major league pitcher on the mound, whether it's Pedro Martinez back in the day, Roy Halladay, Roger Clemens. You can square it up, and you have Ken Griffey Jr. running down. You're out. You know, you do everything right, and you're out. That is the ultimate challenge. It's such a great challenge that even Bo Jackson has said it's the toughest sport. Even Deion Sanders said it's the hardest sport. Not so much physically, but just the nature of having success. And then Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player to ever play, some say the best athlete ever, wanted that challenge. He wanted to see if he could make the major league, so I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Yeah. Last question for you. One hit from your career that you always go to. Your most memorable, it defines you, it's the one that you cherish the most.
I would say Game 2 of the ALCS, coming off the bench in the 13th inning, leading off base hit. I think that was more of that at bat